When people think of one of the largest and most environmentally conscious companies in the United States, it is very unlikely that the United States Postal Service comes to mind. This is a company whose sole bread and butter is reliant on the chopping down of trees to create cardstock and shipping supplies. Now, with more and more people seeking out alternative forms of communication, driving our business down, it's imperative that we make a change. Now, concepts of sustainability are tied to one another. They are all about conserving our limited resources while protecting the quality of life, with the added benefit of saving and even making money. During today's presentation, we will be covering current costs and emissions of postal operation, as well as current goals. We will also evaluate sustainability assessment results and discuss improvements to reach those goals. By the end of this presentation, you will agree. These upgrades are a win-win. You may ask why. This graph represents operating expenses from 2005 to 2014. Note that our total expenses for operation are $10 billion higher than our revenue. This is throwing us further and further into debt each year as mail volume goes down. We need to find ways to reduce our expenses while remaining profitable. Last year, the United States Postal Service implemented its first green roof in an office in New York City. We also came out with the newest members of our vehicle fleet, flex fuel vehicles that run on electricity as part of the Green the Fleet initiative. Sustainability is not a new concept to the post office. We have been recycling 300,000 tons of paper, mailings, and packaging supplies each year while purchasing $200 million worth of recycled content materials. So why stop there when we have the ability and potential to achieve and exceed our sustainability goals? In the National Energy Management Strategy published in 2013, USPS laid out a number of ways in which we can save money while limiting our carbon footprint. The goal set forth in 2006 was to reduce our emissions 20% by 2020. If we look at the graph, we see that 43% of this is from contracted transport fuel. 16% is from our employees commuting. These are not things we can control. Facility energy and postal transport fuel are the most easily adjusted variables in this chart. All of these factors combine to equal current emissions in the amount of 11.8 million metric tons of CO2 per year. This number is down 13 million metric tons in just 2 years. That is quite an accomplishment, but we need to do better, and each and every office is an opportunity to do just that. Using the LEED and Green Globe assessment tools for existing buildings, I was able to evaluate just how sustainable the new Tampa Post Office is. This building is 16,000 square feet. It contains 4 offices, only 3 have windows, 3 storage areas, 2 bathrooms, 2 break rooms, complete with full-size refrigerators. There are 3 sets of large double doors constructed to easily swing open with limited force. As such, they do not form proper seals to keep cool air in or hot air out. The floor where the carriers work is encased in high concrete block walls devoid of windows. Employees have no control over the thermostat. Ceiling fans are shared over several cases, and ceiling lights are non-adjustable. The interior of the building garnered next to 0 points on either assessment. Outside, the site assessment mildly redeemed the office. The building is located on a wetland, restored and protected thanks to the efforts of our employees. This limits the amount of watering required for the natural plant life surrounding the office. Points can be awarded for roof and non-roof heat island, as both services have high SRI. However, more than 90% of parking is uncovered. Overall, the achieved score would not even broach certification. However, certification was not the goal. The goal was to show the need for improvements. From 2003 to 2015, the Postal Service reduced overall budget-related energy consumption by 32%. 29.5% of that was in the last 6 years. But facility energy still comprises 24% of our carbon footprint. Why is that? Well, for starters, many offices, like this one, have lights on 24 hours a day. We can't change that being a P.O. Box location. Our customers need access to the building at all times. But what about the lights on the floor? Most carriers are in the building for less than 3 hours per day, yet the lights on the floor remain on at full brightness from 4:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. We could easily cut this energy waste in half by installing dimmer switches on the lights in this and other unoccupied areas, such as the break rooms and bathrooms. Now, save for the new printer, none of the appliances in the building are Energy Star rated. This includes 12 computers, 3 additional printers, 2 refrigerators, and 2 microwaves. These appliances can use up to 60% more energy than their new age counterparts. New appliances would range between $150 and $300, but would pay for themselves in energy savings and speed. No one likes this low confusion. especially impatient customers. A much more expensive solution to meeting our energy needs is to implement the use of more renewable energy sources. Solar power, for example, could decrease our monthly energy bill by $1,000, not to mention limiting our emissions once the Greening the Fleet initiative has reached full force by charging our electric vehicles with solar power versus electricity from the burning of fossil fuels. Currently, all light is provided by fluorescent bulbs. These need to be switched out for their energy-efficient counterparts. With the addition of sun tubes, the benefits are twofold, as they allow sun to pass through during the day and light the room, as well as charge the internal light source for nighttime lighting from an LED. The installation of a building automation system to account for daylight and dim electric light automatically will be necessary. Passive ventilation will provide a reduction in stale air and dust that is hazardous to employee productivity. Our potable water use is down 22.7% from 2007. However, the second largest waste in the office is still water. With multiple bathrooms and over 45 employees, I'm sure you can see why. As stated earlier, none of the toilets or urinals are low flow or dual flow. On the contrary, they are high flow, high pressure. In addition, all faucets are manual. To save on water, we need to install more energy efficient fixtures in the restrooms, as well as new toilets that do not use as much unnecessary water. And to save on energy and waste, the use of automatic hand dryers should be considered in place of paper towels. Here in Florida, we see 60 inches of rainfall per year. This correlates to 400,000 gallons that could be collected with a rainwater harvesting system for use. In conclusion, I think it's fairly easy to see the number of benefits these improvements will bring. As with everything, there will be upfront costs. However, USPS brings in billions of dollars in revenue each and every year, yet we are still $15 billion in debt. Something has to change, and these improvements are that change. Greening the fleet, saving on water, saving on energy. These are the only ways we can eliminate that debt without eliminating our workforce. Now, if a company as large and as profitable as USPS can make these changes and become more sustainable, just imagine the impact we will have, not only on the way people see us, but on the way people see the world. And keep in mind that being sustainable and being profitable, the more time passes, we cannot be one without it.